a jig.
Yeah, what's that? I forgot what jig we did after that.
I don't know. It's this one.
Did we do? No. It's... Oh, Kesh jig.
Yeah, that's it.
Kesh jig. But we did the super round version, not like the one we played in Ireland.
Yes,
so there's two different versions.
Very round.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 185. Jesus Christ. Of the Chanter Rant Podcast.
Getting so close to the end of time as we know it. The end of our lives.
Time is a flat circle, Fusco. My name is Josh. With me, as always, is my bearded co-host, Mr. Andy Fusco.
Yeah, baby. That's me.
And if you didn't know, I'm here to let you know that this show is explicit. So you have 5 seconds to listen to something else. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
F-word. Might be a little less explicit today since we're both very sober.
Yeah, very sober. You can listen to the show, review us, recommend us to your friends. Come on, spread the good word. Why not? If you enjoy it, some sick asshole in your band probably will enjoy it too.
Yeah, go ahead and share it on your Facebook or your Insta post or your
My Chat, your OnlyFans, whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Listeners can send us emails to be read on air. You can send us voicemails via the email too. I think the number's gone now. We stopped doing the number. Nobody used it.
Yeah, if we don't use it, they take it back.
Yeah, they just take it back. So you can send us emails and voicemails we played on air at chanterrant@gmail.com. Almost fucked that one up. Like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or if you're Australian, Snapchat. Check out Chanter Rant store at chanterrant.com. And this episode is brought to you by our patrons, those lovely folks who sign up for $5 a month at patreon.com/chanterrant. Last but not least, invite and share with your friends. Again, Fusco, odd open.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah, Fusco.
You know what really puts a hole in my wallet?
What's that?
When you you go through the hard work of getting all dressed up in this goddamn outfit that I'm wearing today, and then you go play an event, a gig, funeral, wedding, birthday party, bar mitzvah, St. Patrick's Day,
bris,
what have you, and then the sons of bitches don't pay you.
Yeah, that's
or they slow pay you, which annoys me.
That's a real kick in the dick. I've definitely had slow pay. I don't think I've ever had no pay.
I've never been stiffed.
Yeah, I mean,
I've been slow paid.
You've been stiff. You just haven't been not paid before. You know?
I'm very stiff. As a matter of fact, I'm stiff right now.
Thought I saw a little bit of rise in the sporin.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, that's some bullshit, and we're gonna get into that later on in today's episode at our topic of the week, due to some recent things we've heard on the Chanter Rant Discord. But before we do that, life checks. How are you doing, Fusco?
I'm great, Josh. How are you?
I'm doing very well.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, okay. See, there you go.
Is there anything to talk about since last week?
I don't think we talked about... Did we talk about your little inspirational message on the band app when we were talking about the New Year's stuff?
I don't think so.
I don't remember.
You
posted a nice little thing. It might have come out after we recorded.
It might have been. Yeah, it was around that same time.
About you coming out of your hibernation and being excited about people, working through some of the dojo steps. Although I don't know who all has done it aside from Pat.
I've heard some rumors, but I haven't seen.
Jeremy has been doing it, right?
Jeremy's working through it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't. I don't know.
Slow and steady.
Slow and steady. I haven't seen anybody posting anything.
Let me put it this way. It's January now. And typically, we have to decide, because my girlfriend's family lives in Chicago. We have to try to decide which holidays at the end of the year we're going to do in Vegas and we're going to do in Chicago.
Right.
We try to split it up, even though it's a pain in the ass to fly Chicago. Even when it's not a pandemic, it's a pain in the ass. This was the first year where I was like, hey, we could potentially do Christmas in Vegas because we could do Thanksgiving in Chicago because there's probably not going to be a concert.
Yeah, right. There you go. Perfect. It's very possible. But to be fair, I expect the first 6 weeks people to be just balls deep in the challenges, so you can't even submit things to the dojo till you get through those. So I'm imagining there's a lot of people just working their way through that. And you can't, I mean, you can do other stuff, but
I feel like January is typically kind of a slow month band-wise anyway, especially because it's been ages since we would do like Queen Mary, for example, Right. I mean, conceptually it shouldn't be because we take December off, at least we do. Most people do. And then and a lot of bands over there take December off as well. And so they come back pretty hard and heavy in January, from as I understand it. And we always try to, but it takes a lot to get not the motivation. For some reason, moving. 1 month off isn't enough. They need 2 months, 2.5 months.
Well, they need a month off and then a month of like tiptoe or dipping their toe in like learning music.
A month of like, I haven't touched my pipes since.
Yeah, it's interesting. I interviewed Richard Parkes the other day for a dojo thing, And
we could plug that if you want to plug that. We could.
Yeah, we could talk about that in a sec. But I didn't bring it up for that reason. But he talked about. I asked him about what's their schedule like in the winter, and he's like, they basically take December off more or less, and a lot of time in the fall. They come back January pretty strong, and by January, they take December off from band practice. Let's put it that way. That doesn't mean you're off. Yeah. So music is learned in that time period, and they come back in January, and basically they have to know it at that point. So it was interesting. Where I don't think that. I mean, granted, obviously they're grade one, so that the expectations are higher.
Yeah, the expectations are significantly higher.
But that's the dream there, and I was thinking about that when he was talking about that. I'm like, so that was always my expectation. We always go into it with I try to go into it with a grade 2 mentality, at least conceptually. And we come back and it never happens. It's like we spend the whole year, people are learning their music all year. And we never get to that point because he's talking like a month out. We're just cruising into the competition. So I'm thinking by April, our first competition's typically April, sometimes March. Typically April. So like March, we're putting in new reads and we're just coasting to tighten things up. But that's never what it is. We're standing in the circle, about to walk in, and people are still like, is that a G or D?
Yeah.
Or whatever. I'm like,
Is that hey Fusco, is that a low A or a low G in the march?
It's one of those things. It's like we'll just never get there. But if you do decide to join the dojo and follow the procedure, you will know that learning music becomes easier when you have more experience with more music.
Yep.
So more patterns, more repetition of things that you'll see in other music, and it just all gets easier over time. There's no doubt about that.
Well, yeah, because you stop looking at it note by note and you start looking at it chunk by chunk.
Correct.
Because you're like, I've seen this movement in other things before.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like reading. You don't
You're
spell it out in your head and then process it. You just connect the word
look at the
to
whole
the feeling
word.
or whatever. Yeah. It's like one of those kind of things. But you have to get to that point, And so anyway, we'll talk about Richard, I think, a little bit later. But
that'd be lovely. Yeah, I'd love to see. I'd love to hear about how Uncle Parkes is doing.
Yeah. He's. This is going to be the first. This is me massaging Vader's balls to come on the show.
Foreplay. This is the foreplay for Come On Chanter Rant.
So I was very, very straight with him. I did not pull any shenanigans. And just like, all right, I just want to convince him that I'm not a total asshole, just half an asshole.
Half an asshole. That could deal. Just one cheek.
Exactly.
You're an ass semicircle.
Exactly. So anyway, we'll see. Maybe we can turn this into something. Last time I interviewed for the dojo, I got to interview Stuart Little, and that led into getting him on the show.
It's true, yeah.
Cross your fingers.
And that was good fun. Stuart had a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So. Okay, that's excellent. I realize now that I sprung this on you because I don't remember if we did our January raffle winner last week.
Well, we didn't do January till the end of the month, but we did do December.
Okay, so we can wait till the end of the month too. Okay, I realized that I was like, wait, do we do it at the beginning or do we do it at the end or does it matter?
I counted like December 31st. I just do it the next. I counted as December. So.
Okay, so never mind. Fuck you. No merch for you, you heathens. Someone asked in the chat about Burns Night events. Our local one got canceled.
Yeah, and I hear others are canceling pretty much.
Of course, they decided to cancel. I think a week before it was supposed to, because it was supposed to happen on the 22nd.
22nd. I would say about 2 weeks. Yeah,
because I don't think I got notified until like Friday of last week. Maybe
I saw it about a week ago, which is
or maybe it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So obviously they made sure they canceled it in a close enough window that nobody else could throw anything.
Would you have done something if you had a chance?
I don't think so. I'm spread too thin as is. I mean,
what the fuck are you complaining about?
I just think that
you're like a chick, just bringing shit up just in case you were gonna do it.
Yeah, it's not like they were like, it's not like they didn't know fucking January 1st that they were probably gonna cancel it, right? Like,
I imagine they've been thinking about it.
I'd be willing to bet there was one table sold, and it was probably the fucking Highland Games table because we got our tickets. Like, we get them as soon as they come out, and we get a table, and just whoever can go goes.
Right. Yeah, no, I know nothing about how that was run. They didn't contact me. 6 months ago, they asked me if I'd play pipes, and I wasn't going to be able to do it anyway. But
yeah, they asked me like 3 months ago. They asked me 3 months ago if I could MC again, and I was like, yeah, sure. And then like somewhere around December, I'm like, I haven't had anyone contact me about the script or anything like that. And like last time, it was like October. Like, we want to make sure all the script's locked down. I was like, this isn't 3 fucking months. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and it's the same thing we've done
the
for
same
700 years.
Yeah.
How old is fucking what's his name? Burns?
Yeah, when did Burns?
It's the same speech for 300 years or whatever.
But yeah, no Burns events that I know of.
No, I mean, not a one.
I just don't think there's enough of a demand here. I would love to throw like a big like $100 a plate fancy fucking Burns dinner somewhere nice, but there's no demand.
What about just like a instead of like a formal event, like a friend gathering?
Yeah, that could be cool.
Like you could do it someplace, and we can. If somebody wants to read poetry, I have no interest in listening or reading it. But if we want to do it to call it a Burns thing, great.
Yeah.
But it's like
just turn it into a backyard barbecue.
yeah, like whatever. But I don't know. Like I'm celebrating Robbie Burns, in my own way.
You're gonna play pipes, drink a bottle of whiskey to yourself.
No.
Pass out with your dick in your hands.
Well, that's every night. And if that's a Robbie Burns night, then him and I have spent a lot of good time together.
You've been celebrating Burns 300 nights out of the year
for 300 years approximately. Absolutely. No, I'm going to the Tool concert, which is that night.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. That'll be fun.
I'm going to celebrate in my own way. And guess who I'm going with?
Whom are you going with?
I have an announcement to make.
Okay.
And it's at the T-Mobile.
Oh, nice.
And it's that 22nd, the evening 22nd. I am going with Little Sean.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, he's not so little anymore.
Has he ever been to like a big ass fucking...
He's never been to a concert ever.
Oh, God.
So this is his first concert.
He wanted to go. The fire.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it was his idea. He's like, hey, will you go to Tool with me? I'm like, sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was like his idea. I'm like, okay, hell yeah. So
what is he now, like 16?
16, yeah. Mm-hmm. He's like conceptually driving or learner permit or whatever.
Probably, yeah.
I don't know if he's actually behind the wheel yet that I know of, but I know he's got his learner
Be afraid. Everyone be very afraid.
So I'm very excited about that. I'm very honored to have been trusted to bring him to his first concert. Do you remember your first concert?
I remember the first one I went with you two. My first concert.
Ever, but
my first concert ever. God, I think my first big show I ever went to was fucking Jimmy Buffett. I went with my family, and it was a shit show.
Okay.
They were like, oh, it'll be a fun show. Oh no, they fucking rage at those shows. I was like 7. It was wild. I've never had more alcohol spilled on me. I was probably drunk just through fucking osmosis, just soaking it up through my skin. I had so much booze spilled on me, and I'm about yay high.
Yeah.
And just fucking 50-year-old chicks with stupid fruit hats on, whipping their titties out and stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That would have been a good first concert. At first, I judged you for this, but now that you bring that up, I was like,
Yeah, it was weird, man. Fun fact: first concert, 7 or 8 years old, Jimmy Buffett.
Wow, that's pretty cool. 7 or 8. Wow,
I was fucking young.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That was here somewhere, I assume?
Yeah, I forget where.
Oh, interesting.
I was too drunk from all the people spilling their drinks on me.
That's fun. My very first concert, it had to be my first concert because as a kid, my parents weren't that into music, so they didn't go to anything. But you're not going to believe this one. It's even funnier than yours.
Okay. I'm ready.
It was at an arena, something like the T-Mobile.
Yeah.
It was MC Hammer.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
You went to go see MC Hammer on purpose?
1990 or something. I loved him. Yeah, I was into that. I was into hip hop and stuff back then. I was into a lot of stuff. It was kind of before I really hit metal big time.
Yeah.
But my parents loved him. They were like, "Hey, let's go." My sister, myself, both parents went. My father loved it. He's not into music at all for the most part.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the moral to this story is Fusco will be celebrating Burns in the best way possible by listening to Tool.
Correct.
So real quick, did you get a chance to listen to the most recent Big Rap Show episode? I listened to it. I did a little bit of a round table with some of the Rap Show team.
I did. Yep.
Immediately apparent who has done radio shows before and who has not. I was fucking dying laughing.
I did laugh out loud once. It happens right in the beginning. Too.
Right in the beginning, yeah. So there's a really funny part right in the beginning where he's got. I think it's him and 3 other guys, right? It's Deej and the new guy and
somebody named James.
Yeah, I think that's the new guy.
Chilladay, and then I don't know who the other guy was.
Deej McIntosh. Yeah.
Oh, is that okay?
And he was like, so are y'all excited for 2022? And you just hear silence. He's like, everybody's nodding. Everybody's nodding on the radio podcast. I fucking lost.
It was so funny. And it happened a couple times.
It happened a couple times where it's like, hey, I know you guys are on a Zoom call, but it's a radio show. Although he did a good job. He did a good job. The trick for this, podcasters out there, if you're doing a big group thing, is you call people out to answer questions.
Yeah, you got to say their names.
So I'm wondering, what you think about cheese, starting with you, blank.
Yeah, and he actually did that by the end. He started saying the names, but that was funny. But also, it was also blatantly apparent that his team, there's a reason they're not on the radio. Not only that they don't understand the concept.
There's a reason they work behind the scenes.
My God, they have very little to say. It was very funny.
Well, it's interesting too. This is one of the things that I think because of the format and placement and prevalence of his show, I think one of the problems that he faces is he'll get people on that are like way plugged into the scene. Probably if they weren't on the radio, if you didn't have a microphone in front of them, will probably have some pretty strong opinions about things going on. But as soon as you put them on that platform, that typical, UK Irish band thing where I can't fucking say anything or else my band's going to get hammered.
Right.
Yeah. That's why they do the weekly drones. So you can bitch anonymously.
Correct, yeah. And that's the other thing about they're so careful over there. And I think Canadians are like this as well, and it seems like the Americans don't give a fuck generally, mostly. Occasionally you get the guys that are high up that don't want to risk their judging job at the next games or whatever it is. But, man, they have nothing to say because nobody wants to rock the boat at all. But he did kind of get into he did start to talk about like their communication, social media, the association and stuff doing better, which was, and they're like, yeah, they're doing better. I'm hearing more. And then it would be like this silence, like
there's like this,
and Rab's like hoping they will elaborate, but nobody will say anything.
And that's all we'll say about that.
That's so funny. But I did like his new format. I don't know. His original format is original because he's the only one that sort of talks to himself and just reports the news kind of a thing, which is a skill. I can't do it. Like talking to myself is weird. When you walk away and I have to like vamp, I'm like, I can't do this. I've got nothing to say. So, but
Josh isn't here. I suddenly have no opinions on anything.
Yep, exactly. But when he did the new format, I liked that he had somebody to talk to, and even if it was pulling teeth a little bit, but it was funny because of that.
Bouncing stuff off people, I thought was nice. So yeah, I thought it was interesting. It was good little show to do, like to start off the new year and hear about some of the challenges they're facing, especially trying to live stream everything with Irish internet. I still say just fucking tape it and post it as soon as you get home. A 3-hour delay isn't gonna bother anybody.
They have nowhere to go. They have no events planned.
That's gonna be rough. So. I mean, that's gonna dovetail right into our next topic. Was they were talking a lot about whether or not 2022 events are going to be happening in the UK, Scotland, and Ireland. What the fuck do we have happening here?
I don't know.
Everything's such a goddamn question mark. I mean, Vegas is going to happen. I can't tell you to what fucking size, scale, or how many people are going to come, but like we're doing it until someone tells us we can't.
Right. I was wondering about that actually. Other than Vegas, because I've talked to you about it, I've heard nothing. I've heard that Phoenix is happening because I heard that they're having a dance contest. I've heard nothing from bands. I don't know that they're doing any band thing or solo thing, or I haven't.
That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that because I just kind of always look. I don't check specifically for band stuff. I kind of just look to see, when are their athletics registrations going up? What kind of contests they're doing? Who are their headliners? But I don't even think typically to check to see if they're having a band contest because now that I think about it, there's lots of events that we have now, especially lately, that will do a festival and maybe do athletics and dance and won't have pipe band contest.
I never go to those, so I wouldn't know that that's what's happening. If it's not having a band thing, I'm not there, so I wouldn't know that. But
I also don't hear bands talking about like, hey, like see y'all at Reading in February. Like,
I've heard nothing from anybody about anything. And
so I don't know if all the other bands are in the same boat that we're in, where they're just turtling this year and like trying to build, or
I don't know. I've heard Flagstaff is happening. But, I mean, so that's so far in the future, who knows the reality of that?
Yeah, it's like I have, like, Reddit. So I went to the Wispaba site, which it also has been updated.
Is it?
Yeah, it's better. It's not great, but it's better.
Okay.
So I like seeing things move in the right direction. RSPBA's site is new, too. They redid it.
Yeah, I've heard about that. That's what Rav was talking about.
So that's nice. I mean, none of them are going to knock your cock inside of itself, but...
It doesn't have to. It just got to be informational and current.
Yeah, better is better than the same. Like, if it hasn't been updated since 98, like, that's a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I went to the Wispaba site and I was looking through upcoming events because they have an upcoming events thing now. Granted, they have the Vegas game starting on Friday, which is fucking weird. But so they have Phoenix, Reading, Vegas, and Monterey, and that's February through July. I don't see anything else.
I mean, maybe they haven't planned that past that point. I don't know, but
yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, we started this whole process almost summer last year, so.
I don't. Do you think Vegas is going to happen? Because
I do.
You sounded sort of dire about a week ago about it.
Well, I'm dire about I'm dire about whether or not I'm going to have to fucking do everything myself. Like that's for sure a problem. Like I'm not getting a lot of buy-in from
that's what I mean. If you do, it won't happen if you do it all yourself. Like things are going to fall.
Dude,
through.
the thing for me that I've been trying to tell them, I'm like, man, if this new job goes through, like, I might not even be there. Like, you guys are gonna have to fucking throw an event without me.
Right.
So, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's the same thing we've always experienced with volunteer organizations. I wish, in the past, I feel like my organization's been really gung-ho and hands-on, and I feel like everyone just wants to talk about doing stuff instead of doing anything now, and it's really frustrating.
Yeah. Well, the pandemic strikes again. We've gotten very used to not
doing anything. Yeah.
This is exactly what the liberals want.
Damn it.
They want us at home and just
not
sucking off the government teat.
They want us at home sucking off the government teat, not throwing Highland games.
Exactly.
Not throwing Highland games that fucking cost an incredible amount of money to the government. I mean, it's local government for us, but
right. But either way, that's probably funded by the federal government in all likelihood.
But yeah, so I don't know, man. We're moving forward. 100%. Like, we just got our vendor and clan registrations up. We're gonna open athletics registration probably 1st February. Our piping and drumming registration was open since like November, I guess, and they never emailed the WSPA membership.
And never announced it to the world, or
they didn't I didn't even know. Like, all of a sudden Buggy contacted me and he was like, oh, like, just so you know, like, I got the link for registration. They never sent it. They never emailed it out through R2.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, fuck. So like, we posted it. Once I got the link, we posted on like the games channels, and I'm going to try to get like the contact info of people who have competed in the past. And I'm just going to have to make an email myself because apparently fucking association isn't going to do it.
Oh.
So I'm sitting there, I'm like, it's January and nobody had the fucking link to sign up, because Buggy's like, why do we have no fucking registrations? Like, usually people register pretty early.
Yeah, they do, but two things about that. One, people have asked me about it. Hey, where's the... I'm like, I don't have a fucking clue. As far as I know, in the years past, and maybe this was a one-time thing, and this is how I think of it now, but it didn't go up until March very often.
Oh, no, that's a long time ago, because we're usually up first of the year.
Oh,
for piping and drumming.
Yeah, no, I had never known it to be until pretty close anyway, so I never worried about it. Like, yeah, it's coming. I don't know.
But usually it's not something that we.
Is it on your website? Because I tell people just go.
Yeah, it's on the website. Yeah, so if you go to LasVegasCelticSociety.org/pipe-bands, or if you just go to the website, go to festival, go to pipe band, piping and drumming. Yeah. It's right there.
Yeah, well, that's good.
But yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Because usually it wasn't something that we had to aggressively promote ourselves. Right. Because the association would contact all the registered soloists and be like, hey, here's an event, sign up.
Right. Yeah, and they've done it for others. I'm pretty sure I've seen WSPA emails about like
because I don't have that list. I don't have the list of everyone that signed up to be a soloist in WSPA in 2022. Right. So like, that's one of those things where it's like, hey, you guys should fucking send this out. If you want to give me the list, I'll do it. Like,
maybe they wait though. Maybe it's 2 months before they do it.
Usually it's when it opens that they would send it.
Maybe I don't know. But.
So, and then it's just like, it's pulling teeth. Once again, as much as I love Buggy, he's a super fucking busy guy working like 17 jobs and volunteering, and so I hear from him every other day trying to get an immediate problem resolved. So it's like, hey, like, this needs to get sorted out in 24 hours, and I'll get a text or an email every other day answering whatever question I asked most recently. So it's like, fuck, man, like, it's gonna be May by the time this gets sorted out.
Right.
And it's not just him. It's all my volunteers across the board are just like, they'll answer me maybe every other week, and I'm like, this is all time sensitive shit. It's fucking January.
Like, we got 3 months, not even.
Right. Like, we have 3 months from a week ago. like, come on, guys.
Is SFU coming?
I don't know. We're still trying to figure out if we're gonna have to change some judging lineup, because we don't know if the Canadians are gonna be able to get out of Canada.
Well, that's true too. Can they cross the border here?
That's a big thing. Yeah.
Can they right now? I don't even know.
I don't think so right now. I think that's what prompted the conversation. I don't know if it's going to... I mean, it could be better in 2 months. It could be worse in 2 months. We're definitely going to have contingencies either way.
Yeah, I don't... It's going to be worse. I mean, like, even if... the government's going to do what it does. They're going to shut things down or try to, slow things down, essentially block things from happening, whether we like it or not.
But, I mean, I remember fucking last year when it was way more... pandemic-y in March and April, and Pirate Fest had a fucking 17,000 person event and got no ramifications whatsoever.
Yeah, but the fervor's coming back again, and maybe it's just because it's wintertime and people are bored and they're stuck in snowbound houses in the north. I don't know, but like it's like all over again.
I mean, that's one of those.
I'm not saying it's reality, but it's the fervor is there. The outrage.
Because I mean, we didn't do it last year, and Pirate Fest did their event because we were like, fuck, we're not gonna be able to get enough people in the middle of a fucking pandemic to make this thing work. And then they had a fucking huge event.
Yeah, but they go after the weird Renaissance.
Yeah, they do a lot
people.
more like guild stuff, and they just didn't give a fuck. I mean,
maybe that's the key. Go after them for a year and just make your money that way.
They just didn't give a shit if people got sick. Like,
well, that's up to you. If you, let people live their lives and let them decide.
But I mean, it's an outdoor event. I'm not too worried about that. I'm just worried about like, fuck, there's fixed fees, right? There's certain things I have to pay for the park. The city rapes me in the ass on the price of the park. That's why we're probably not going to use that park next year. I got freaking medics and security and fencing and all things that if there's 100 people or if there's 10,000 people, those prices are the same, Mm-hmm. So it's like, fuck, man, if I don't think I get enough people in, we're going to have a problem.
Right, yeah.
The term I use at the board meetings is best last Highland Games.
And how do people react to that?
They don't like it, but they also don't do their job, so I don't care about their opinion. Pull your weight, and you can have an opinion. No criticism from the couch.
Yep, that's usually how it goes.
So yeah, I'll probably get in trouble for saying all that, but fuck it.
Yeah.
Discord. If you are some of you people watching this right now, probably on Discord. Yeah, so good for you. But yeah, no, we're going forward for now, and hopefully throw a big ass event.
Yeah,
and fucking rage.
It'll be a rager. Yeah. So the Discord. Are we talking about how that led into our topic this week yet?
Yeah, we could talk about it. It does directly affect our topic. So one of the things that I really like about the Discord channel is there's a lot of shop talk.
True.
Inside of the Discord channel. And not just, piping and drumming shop talk for sure. There's shop talk about fucking everything at this point, but there's a lot of channels in that thing.
Yeah.
But there's
a lot of channels that Rob MacLellan fills up with nonsense.
With bullshit, yeah. I want to hear a video of that guy play.
I don't think I've ever heard him play.
It's like, you got the fucking chops to back up all this shit you talk.
He might.
He might fucking be stellar.
Yeah, who knows?
But so there was a conversation thread that led to today's topic inside the Discord server, and today's topic being getting fucking stiffed at gigs. So that's going to lead into the later conversation about best practices from Chanter Rant's very own Andy Fusco.
That's me. Oh wait, sorry,
wrong part of the show. But before we get to that, speaking of Andy Fusco, you've been doing some interviews with some fairly prominent folk recently for the Piper's Dojo. Do you want to kind of talk about what that's about?
Yeah, sure. So in February, the dojo is doing the number 2. They're doing a number 2.
They're doing a number 2
Andrew
all
Douglas
over your computer.
Is doing a number 2 all over your computer. Yeah. No, they're having the second pipe major symposium where they bring in 3 major pipe majors to do a weekend class, if you will, or presentation on various aspects of leading a band and
if you don't know
best practices, that sort of thing.
What a pipe major symposium is, it's when you simp for pipe majors.
Exactly.
No, if you're a pipe major simp, this osium is for you.
So
do we have a link for that, or is it? I don't know. Is it paid or what is it?
What do you mean?
It's like a paid event? Is it a webinar? Is it if you're a dojo member, you just log in?
No. It's a paid event. It's a special outside the ordinary thing. So there's I'll put the website in the link if anybody's interested to sign up for that. But it's you sign up. You can bring your pipe major and one other person. Maybe if you want to bring your pipe sergeant or some other leadership of the band.
Go to chanterrant.com/simp.
Yep, that'll be the link. Okay, it's not up yet, so don't go there yet. But anyway, so part of that is creating a I won't call it a workbook, but sort of a textbook for the class. So in that textbook, I do interviews with each of the 3 pipe majors, and then we transcribe that into essentially a story, notes or whatever for the students to have. So I've talked to Ken Eller, and I've interviewed him, and then of course talked to Richard Parkes on Friday morning. That was fun.
That gave you a little bit of a chubby?
It did. So Ken's very personable, and so he's super easy to talk to, and that's where the whole panic of judges crossing the border came up. When I talked to him, I was like, oh shit, I didn't even think about that. And I told you, and you're like, uh-oh, here we go.
Here we go again.
Because he was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to cross the border to come out, because he usually comes to the Vegas games. Anyway, so he was fun to talk to, and then Richard was incredibly intimidating, because I was wondering how he was going to react to
it
me
being you.
Yeah, because I emailed him and I didn't hear back from him, and then Andrew emailed everybody, and then he set a time or whatever. So yeah, so
Did he ever tell you how to crush the puss at Winter Storm?
He never did. I did not bring it up. I played it straight. I didn't want to challenge him or my job for that matter. But he's an interesting guy. Like, and what I noticed in particular was how I changed around him. Like, Ken is easy to talk to, and like so I was just goofy me, and we kind of had a good time. And Richard's very straight, so it's like, all right, I'm just gonna match his energy and kind of go with this. But it's like, this is so not me normally. And then I caught myself like being awkward and weird. Like, he would say something and I would be like, oh, cool, that's a great answer. Like, I don't even know what he said. Like, I'm so like blinded by what's happening. Like, this is so weird. Like, I'm not usually like this. But
you get a little bit of nerves.
Yeah, it wasn't like butterflies in the stomach or nothing. It was just like a weird fog. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but it was weird. But it was cool talking to him. He was very nice. He remembered me for sure.
Did he say how he remembered you at all?
No. He used my appropriate name. So
he called you Fusco or Fuko or
no? He called me Andy, but he didn't call me Andrew. Is how I knew he knew who I was. Because everything on my screen name is Andrew, right? So, and I've talked to him before, but so I'm like, oh, okay. So should I just like say something, get it out of the way, just make a joke like about it, or should I just like, pretend it never happened?
you went with pretend it never happened.
I totally pretended it never happened. Like,
hey, that's one way to do it.
But no, he was cool. It was nice to talk to him. Got him to laugh a little bit. He smiled once. I even took some screenshots. I'm like, this is creepy, but I'm totally taking screenshots.
Is it one of those platforms where it'll tell you when someone's screenshotting you? Or
no, I did it on my computer, not on Zoom. So conceptually he couldn't tell. And it wasn't a dating app. I think those tell you when somebody.
I think like Snapchat.
Snapchat does. You're right. You're right. It does. Yep.
Or maybe I think maybe Snapchat and Instagram. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
It might. But yeah. So that was fun. And then I have Alistair Henderson next week.
Oh, cool.
So I'll be talking to him.
He's still alive,
as far as I know.
Yeah, I'm about to say I haven't heard from him in forever.
Yeah, so that should be a fun one too. So that's the Pipe Major Symposium. We got Ken Eller, Richard Parkes, and Ali Henderson. Ali's going to be focused on writing your medley and arranging tunes and things. Richard's more about like your process and setup and tuning and the day-to-day kind of stuff. And Ken's more man management style.
Okay, cool.
That's what he's presenting more or less. But all very educational. So I highly recommend checking it out if your band's interested. Get on top of it now. So a year from now when we maybe get back to
sometime in 2030. Yeah,
you'll be well prepared.
You'll be so prepared. Pipe band's gonna have a repertoire of 200 tunes by the time we can go back out.
The last one was awesome. That's all I got to say. So definitely check that out.
Speaking of 200 of something, Chanter Rant's episode 200. See how I did that? See a little segue?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fucking pro right there. That's why they pay me the big bucks.
Yep. Rab would have never pulled that off.
Episode 200 of the Chanter Rant Podcast, where it all ends, where we just hit the big red button under the table and the set collapses on us.
Yep, you're going to see a nuclear. We're going to have special effects by that point that are going to go off. Everything gets nuked.
Don't we have special? I'm sure we've done special effects.
We can do it after the fact. Yeah. I don't know if we can. We got to figure out how to do it live. I'm sure we can.
Yeah, of course.
Just get an animation in OBS and like play it over the show. I just got to be. But that's got to be like Mayish, right? When that happens,
we're gonna land. I think it's gonna land around. It's gonna land in the summer for sure. I think it's gonna be around May, assuming that we maintain a once a week schedule, which is gonna be it's gonna be iffy.
So, well, that's a good point. So, are you doing anything special? I know you messaged MLK about that recently.
I put it on MLK's radar. She's kind of one of our official, unofficial event coordinator types.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I would be down to do something similar to last year, but maybe tighter. If we plan it more than a week in advance.
Right.
Because a lot of people forget that we did episode 100, and I think we planned that in 6 days.
It was very quick. Yeah.
Like, it was like
we
6 days
had the
to
idea
show.
for a year, but of course we did nothing about it.
We did nothing about it, and then we're like, all of a sudden we're like, oh, we could do a live show. So we're just like inviting everybody we know and like getting Tommy's booked and like trying to figure out the AV setup. And
walking in not having any idea how the Wi-Fi or whatever was going to work.
Walking in, not only not knowing the Wi-Fi or how anything worked, but I was shit-faced. Walking into the venue to set up, not even not even for the show.
Really?
Like, oh yeah, I was hammered.
Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, I knew we got hammered before the show started, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. So you had mentioned 2 things to her, and one of them she was not happy about. What was it?
I said strippers and pyrotechnics.
Oh right. Which one did she agree to?
She said no pyrotechnics.
Oh damn it. Okay. We can't have like a fire eater or nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's no pyrotechnics inside Tommy's.
Oh well, that's fine. Strippers will be fine. Do we know any?
I don't think so. I don't.
I know whores. I don't know if I know
Did you get the girl's number that JD's brother was trying to hook up with?
Yeah, I did actually. So there you go. Contact. Yeah, that's a good point.
See, networking, kids.
Networking, yeah. Pipe band networking.
Learn the importance of networking. I mean, I don't think that you shouldn't have to get fully naked because I don't think they're going to let us.
No, just topless.
I don't know.
Pasties,
maybe.
That place used to be at least a topless bar. It used
to be a topless bar.
Yeah.
I think that was that before. That was when it was the beach bar, I think, maybe.
It was still Tommy's, but it was like they tried to, because
back
in the early 2000s,
topless bar.
Things were turning very adult here again. So they tried to turn it into and it just didn't work. Nobody cared. But
yes, I mean, we need some ideas. Like, what are we going to do? We're going to try to do some like look backs, things like that, like we did last time. Have some music interludes. We won't have anybody traveling down, I don't think. Maybe some of the Utah kids.
Yeah, I bet somebody would come somewhere. Probably less, but it's just not as exciting anymore. It's just an old hat.
Yeah. Our shtick is getting old.
Yeah, it's old to us. It must be old to you.
Must be old to everybody else by now. But once we have a date on that, we'll let y'all know, and we'll do hopefully a slightly more effective live stream than last time, depending on if there's any internet in the building.
Yeah, exactly.
New merch, chanterrant.com. Get your bagpipe Baphomet tee. I think I'm going to put that on a hoodie and on a crop top, too.
Do it.
Courtney wanted one. She wanted a crop top, so.
I'm all about that.
So, I'll get that up one of these days. I'm actually been very productive lately, being sober.
I can imagine, yeah. That definitely helps.
There's so many more hours in my day.
Yeah? What have you been getting done?
Mostly game stuff, cleaning up around the house, trying to organize shit. That was the part of the thing the other night when I was like texting you. I was like, hey, because I was looking at this pile of fucking drums in my office because I need to get this office sorted. And I was like, I wonder what's going on with storage stuff for the band.
Mm-hmm.
And so I messaged El Presidente, Mr. Andy Fuca right here, and I was like, hey, what's going on with storage stuff? I want these fucking drums out of my house. And he's like, yeah, like I talked to so-and-so, and they haven't like gotten any info yet. And I was like, well, do you want some help on that? And he's like, yeah, sure. And I think it was, 2 hours later, I was like, here's a list of everything within 5 miles and the pricing.
Yes. Yeah. How did you do that, by the way?
I Googled storage, storage units near me, and then I just went through each one and marked addresses and pricing and size.
Right. Yeah, that was very helpful. I've looked through it a little bit. I have maybe an idea for one.
Okay.
Got to look into it.
Some of the pricing wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it's going to be in the low hundreds a month, approximately 100 to 125 or somewhere in there for something probably big enough we need to consider drums and the rack of uniforms we have and stuff. But I really need to go see. I have pictures of what we have, but I don't. It's hard to tell the depth, how deep that closet goes.
It's hard to tell how much storage space you actually need.
Yeah. So, but
I'm assuming we'd be looking at least like a 10 by 10.
I'm thinking at least 5 by 10 for sure, but probably
5 by 10 if we
like,
pack it amazingly.
Right, and we want to be able to get in there for uniform stuff. So like I'm thinking somewhere in this 8 by 10 to 10 by 10 range, somewhere in there.
Okay.
So to make that affordable and reasonable and all that. So anyway, yeah, it's definitely in process. The church is probably a no-go because they keep like sort of stalling me. Like, oh yeah, we're looking around for more room to do, and then I just never hear back. So
yeah.
All right, I'll just move on.
Never mind. Yeah.
It's like that girl that just kind of delays your text or whatever. It's like, gosh, she's just not that interested.
That's the thing that they don't realize too. It's like, man, if you had like one room that we could get access to and would lock and it's inside the building, like you could make more money from us.
Well, that's what I suggested to him. I was like,
we'll pay you more.
I said, we'll pay you. We'd rather give it to you than some
U-Haul
storage company.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, we're happy to whatever, But yeah, that hasn't happened yet. And that's a big ass building. Lots of
fucking
stuff
huge, man. I don't think we've seen all that building.
I'm afraid to go in the basement. I don't know if there is. I have no idea.
I'm sure there is.
It's an old church. It's gotta have.
Yeah, if there's no basement, where do you diddle the kids?
Oh God. Man, we're trying to get shit out of them.
I doubt they listen to the show. Speaking of diddling, we're catching up on our edits.
Yeah, we are. We're basically there.
We're basically there. So the one that's coming out on Monday is last week's, and then we'll probably get this week's, the one we're recording right now, out
by the end of the week.
And then we're fucking caught up, baby.
Yeah, man. It's cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yep. Just just snort your way through a mountain of booger sugar, and
we're just powering through them.
Powering through.
I'm tired of looking at that list of like 6 episodes, just sitting there ready. I'm like, fuck.
Well, and then we have that thing where it's like, what the fuck did we talk about last week? Because the one that just came out was from like 3 weeks ago. It's like, fuck it, let's just get caught up.
Yeah, there were people messaging me about like, what was it? It was like the last one we did in October, so it was about 3 episodes ago that we posted, and they're like, what the. I'm so confused. What's going on here? Like, this sounds like it's before the concert. I'm like, it is. Like, just look at the. Mm-hmm. we explained that.
No, we explain
it. Yeah, so we're getting caught up, and it's been fun to listen to those again and our drunken stupors.
Yeah. Just think about how boring this one's going to be to edit.
Oh, this is going to be so easy. I'm not even going to listen to it.
Yeah, we'll just leave a big pause in the middle for ad break so you know where it is.
You know where it is.
And then we're just going to go.
Yeah, this one's going to be great.
Before we get to the top of the week, one more thing coming soon on Chanter Rant, the return of the Patreon happy hour.
Correct.
We're bringing it back, kids. Back by popular demand. We're going to do our once a month happy hour with a twist. That was your cue to come in and talk about it.
Oh, sorry.
So ready? Right, here we go. With a twist.
Oh, is that me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. One more time. Sorry.
Okay, right, here we go.
I'm with you.
Con
we got
twista.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah. With a twist. Fusco.
We have this time. We're gonna have special sessions with where we actually add some education into the old Patreon
happy hour
thing.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have Joe Brady do a short 15 to 20 minute presentation on marketing your pipe band, how to get out there in your community, raise membership potentially, make a name for yourself, get sponsorships potentially from your local brew pub, whatever it is that you might be looking for, things that can help you out. If you know Joe, you know he's a master at these things.
We're gonna get a peek inside the Waken District winning strategy.
Yeah, and if you're not interested in that, come to it anyway and throw virtual nickels at him while he's presenting.
Yeah, that works.
And just say "F you, Joe Brady" in the chat.
Spam that chat hashtag "F you, Joe Brady."
And after that, we'll open the floor to questions, and we'll just have a sit down and hang out and have a couple drinks or whatever Josh will be drinking at the time. Soda water,
probably club soda. Yeah.
So and then we're gonna continue that forward, see how this goes, and expand the old Chanter Rant world universe.
So if you have any suggestions on topics that you would like explored in future Patreon happy hours, you can send them to us, chanterrant@gmail.com.
Yeah.
See, look at how easy that was.
That was great.
Well, we're gonna take a quick break to hear from this episode's sponsor. MacLellan Bagpipes by North Carolina artisan bagpipe maker Roddy MacLellan from Eust in Scotland. They don't strive to be the biggest, fastest, or the cheapest. They do, however, meticulously craft a small number of warm and stable sounding instruments of heirloom quality. Roddy has followed this philosophy for over 30 years and continues to evolve with innovations like the Elevation Chanter, designed with North American bands in mind, providing a lower pitch, rich harmonics, and strong, clear projection. Elevation Chanters, along with chanter reeds from Adrian Melvin, provide a stable platform for a thick band sound without big overhauls. Check out bespokebagpipes.com for more information. MacLellan Bagpipes, born in Scotland, made in the USA. And we're back. Today's topic of the week: pay the fucking piper.
Yeah, motherfuckers.
So we're going to talk about how to make sure you don't get screwed on gigs. This is like we alluded to earlier. This came from our Discord server, where we had one of our great friends who, basically got stiffed. Not only
stiffed like 5 times. So this guy's really got bad luck or something.
This guy's getting his ass handed to him because he had several waiting months to get paid type situations on funeral gigs.
I'm very confused by this.
And like wedding gigs and stuff. I don't think it's only funerals. And then a couple just literally family told him, "Fuck you, we're not paying."
Yeah, I gotta go read the details of that if you have it there. But
this was a quote that I liked. Family told me that they'd seen how much all my shit costs that I could afford to miss a $400 payment.
They really said that to him?
That's what we said.
That's ballsy right there, man.
That's a great way. That's a great way to get your fucking tires slashed.
Oh, absolutely. That's worthy of vengeance right there for sure. That's at least a good Google review, as in a bad Google review.
So I'm very much, unless if I'm dealing with not directly through like a business, like not directly through a funeral home or a wedding chapel, I'm very much a cash on the day or cash before.
Yeah. So there's a couple things. I've never been stiffed. I've been slow paid paid.
I've been slow paid. I've never been stiffed.
Significantly slow paid where I thought, oh, they're gonna fuck me.
They're gonna fucking stiff.
But it went like months, and I don't fuck around money. Like I'm
You
very
can't.
Scottish that way.
Well, you can't do it if you're a gigging musician.
For sure. Yeah, like, and it's not their business to run your to be in your business. Meaning, like, the fact that, you know, I see how much your stuff costs. Like, are you looking at a Pakistani website? Like, what are you talking about?
It's like, you see how much my stuff costs. You know how I paid for it? From other clients that actually pay their fucking bill.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Like, my pipes cost $5,000 alone. I mean, not everybody's are that, but you could go all over the map here. Your uniform's at least $1,000. So anyway, yeah, there's lots of things. There's a couple things you can do anyway, and we can talk about best practices. But one that sucks. Two, have a lawyer friend that will write a letter. I've done that once.
Yeah, just have them. Anytime someone writes, if it's on legal letterhead and you have them write a letter, they're not even going to look into what kind of lawyer that person is. They're just going to say fuck and pay you.
You don't have to threaten them or nothing. You just like, hey, we're inquiring about how do they say it? Something like,
we're inquiring on behalf of.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, and that's it. Like suddenly you get phone calls. Like, but I've definitely done that. That's extreme if you have to go to that point, but it can be done. Or you could even. I mean, you could pay a lawyer supposed to do that if it's worth it to you. But a couple things. One, years ago when we did this, we did an episode about this kind of stuff. The guys over in Scotland kind of laughed at us because they're like, we just show up and they pay us, like we don't go through anything. Like,
that's awesome.
Which
Good for
is,
you, man.
Yeah, like it's a fucking wild west out here, man. This is I don't know about other places, but people are shitheads. So one, I generally always ask for a deposit. Mm-hmm. If it's like the next day, maybe I don't because it's more hassle than it's worth. But generally, funerals out here are quite a bit in advance, and weddings for sure.
Yeah.
So ask for a deposit. That's sort of at least you have something. They have money
and that's
in the
like
game.
you're paying for the slot that I'm putting in for you for the day.
Correct.
Like,
and if they cancel, that's on them, and which is rarely happens, but it can happen.
No.
Or if they move the date or whatever. But we got to be flexible. I mean, obviously, it's okay. I don't mind if people move the date or something. But so deposit helps. Always invoice them. Ask for an email and send them an invoice regardless. Make it look professional.
Yeah.
So that they feel like this is a professional thing. Not
so they feel like there's a person who knows what they're doing.
Correct. That always helps. If they think you know what you're doing, they treat you that way. So it's a little act as if, I suppose. So that's really helpful, especially if you're. With funeral homes, we don't have to do that. Ours locally, they'll
slow pay you sometimes, but they're never going to not pay you.
Yeah, it's pretty rare. I've been doing it for 15 years or something, working for the funeral homes and stuff.
Slowest I ever got paid from a funeral home was maybe like 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's maybe a week is typical, and like I got like a month once, and I just kept calling them, and I'm like, what's going on here? I've never had this happen with you guys before. Like, oh, we just sent to the wrong address. This bad. Like
my cat ate my homework.
Like, all right, but so what about families? We have like, all right, somebody's paying cash or whatever when you get there.
It's always sus.
I always ask for it. I tell them ahead of time, pay me when I get there, so that, and I word it in a way that it sounds more reasonable, but it's like, so I don't have to try to track you down after. People are going to be coming up to you and either congratulating you on your wedding, or you're going to be busy taking pictures or
yeah. That's the thing that I tell people for funeral services and wedding services. I'm like, hey, like if you pay me when I get there, then I don't you don't have to find me. I don't have to find you. You don't have to interrupt enjoying, if it's a wedding or something like that. You don't have to interrupt enjoying your event to deal with paying me.
Absolutely.
Or if it's a funeral, you don't have to interrupt your time, mourning with your family to like dish out cash. And I'm not standing there awkwardly like, with my dick in my hands, like waiting to get paid so I can fucking leave. Like,
right. Exactly. Correct. Yeah. So that's a big deal. Like, and I also make the suggestion, like, hey, it would be, again, weddings, even funerals, to be honest, like it depends on who's hiring you, but at weddings, it's almost always very often the bride.
Yeah.
Because she makes all the final decisions in the end. Hey, like, give the responsibility to somebody else, like give it to your bridesmaid or your mom or somebody like that will take care of it. You're not going to want to deal with this on the day. It's just easier that you don't have to worry about it, or make those suggestions, help them. You got to help them, like make it easier for you.
Well, I've had a good amount of people that'll pay me in advance. They'll be like, hey, can I Venmo
a lot of people will do
like,
that.
hey, can I like Venmo or PayPal you? I'm like, yeah, here's the contact info. Then you just don't have to worry about it.
One thing I've tested, and I haven't really committed to it 100% yet, and I just in the last year started doing this, is as I've started like asking them to pay me via Venmo, PayPal, whatever it is, on the morning. Like, I get people are nervous, like they don't know if you're gonna fucking show up. Yeah. They don't know you from a hole in the wall. Granted, for me, you could you could track me very easily. I have a website and Facebook. I got all this shit. It's easy.
Yeah.
So have that stuff so you look professional, but for sure, so they don't feel like this guy's just taking his money and walking away. Because like you would ruin your business that way if you did that. But I've toyed with the idea, and I've done it a couple times where it's like, hey, when you get up that morning, when you're heading out, just send it via Venmo, PayPal, whatever, Zelle, whatever you use, and then we're done. Like, you don't have to pay me like weeks in advance and whatever and be nervous about it. Like, send it that morning. Hey, text me. Hey, I just sent you money. I'm on my way. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Like, that helps speed up that process. Makes it less awkward. You don't have to stand there. People will still tip you. I've definitely had people.
Yep.
Like, you think like maybe they're not going to tip you if they're not handing you cash, but they do. They absolutely do.
Or they'll pay you in advance and then tip you on the day. Like,
they absolutely they'll pay you the fee and then like they'll hand you $20 or whatever.
I've had people ask me, hey, can we do half up front, half after? I've had all kinds of things like that. And I'm like, yeah, like I'm flexible. Some of the biggest things that people get fucked on, right? One, you always got to make sure you have a point of contact and correct contact info. So, like, as soon as someone's booking me, I'm like, I need, it's like, yeah, can I get your name? Like, is this a good phone number for me to contact you? Do you have an email address in case I have any questions? I could just email you. That way I don't have to bother you on the phone. And then you at least have, like, ways to get in touch with the person, not only to make sure day of the event goes more smoothly if you have a question or something comes up, but also, like, in the, probably unlikely event, but just in case they fuck you, it's like, hey, I've got contact info for this person. Like, most people aren't going to change their email to get out of, like, getting badgered by somebody. And they can block your phone and things like that, but you can say, hey, like, here's the person. There you go, back to that freaking letter from a lawyer. Like, hey, here's the fucking person. Here's their phone number. Here's their email. Yeah, you could certainly. And again, a lot of this thing's going to preempt that because they're going to not do that to you. Because they're going to feel like, oh, this person knows this is a real business or whatever. I mean, maybe you'll get somebody, but I've had some real questionable people pay me no question. Like, you're walking like, oh, this is a real trashy funeral or whatever it is. Like. And then they got hand you an envelope full of cash.
Yeah, they got an Elvis impersonator, but nobody. It's rare that they fuck with the piper, man, because it's like the other thing that helps is the old
superstition.
Man. Absolutely,
yep. Superstition helps,
especially if they're like traditional type people or whatever they think would play it up, man. Like, they gotta pay the piper. Like, even if you volunteer to do something, like, it's often that not often. I don't do it that often, actually. So let me take that back. Don't ask me, people. But
I've definitely
done it on occasion where it was a friend or something like that. I played, and so they'll still hand me money because they feel like they have to.
Yeah. I've had that happen with friends before, where they'll be like, "Hey, like, it could be like $5."
It's something.
And they'll be like, "Here you go." And I'm like, "What do you give me a $5 for?" And I pay a fucking piper, dude. I'm not having that shit on my.
Exactly.
I'm not having that shit, that bad juju following me around.
Exactly. So, that's.
But it's kind of building out, and it's one of those things where the trick is, especially if you're maybe haven't played as many solo gigs or you don't book as many solo gigs, come up with whatever your SOP is going to be. And just stick to it. And you don't have to bend over back. I mean, it's good customer service to, like, help where you can, but you don't have to bend over backwards for people by any means. You can be like, hey, like, here's the process. You book me, you put this deposit down, I'm going to invoice you for the full amount. You can pay the full amount on the day. This is, here's some of my suggestions about what you can do to make it easier on you, because I've done a lot of these things and I see how, I see what works and what doesn't work. Right. You don't need, like, a signed, countersigned contract for a fucking playing 15 minutes at a wedding.
Yeah, like, it's very rare that I sign a contract. I mean, you could go that far if it really gets bad for you, but I just don't. It's a lot of work to do that.
Yeah.
But, sometimes you have to. But
I mean, one of the great things if you have, like, an interest form. So one thing, first off, if you're going to try to make money playing pipes, talking about looking more professional, if you get paid $200 for a gig, take $100, fucking get a Squarespace, and make yourself a decent website. It can be one page with a contact form.
Yeah, it doesn't. You don't have to have anything.
Doesn't have to be anything.
Just nice.
Like, it can be
just gotta look
super cheap,
nice.
right?
Get a nice picture of yourself. Either you could hire a photographer. That's probably a good way to go. Or
dress up nice. Get a friend to put their phone on portrait mode. Like,
yeah, it's not that hard to get a nice picture on an iPhone or whatever these days.
I mean, it's a good place to start. The trick is, as you book more gigs, reinvest in yourself. So, if you can take half of the money from a gig and put it into a website, awesome. If that website helps you get 3 more gigs, and you can take money from one of those gigs and put it into getting some decent photos, do that. Like,
right, exactly.
Pay the $10 on Vistaprint to get some fucking business cards made.
There's a lot of people that will take their gig money and put it aside, like, for bagpipe stuff. Meaning, like, they'll buy more stuff. Like, you don't need any gadgets, man. Just invest in looking good and maybe upgrading your sporran or upgrading your whatever, your shoes or whatever it might, or you get a photographer, whatever these things that add into more business.
You're getting, and you don't have to do big numbers. I mean, if you're getting if you need the cash, if you're getting $200, pull $50 aside and say, okay, this is going in my business development fund. Like
a couple months, you'll be able to hire a photographer, no problem.
Easy. Yeah, or you'll get some, my friend's nephew is learning photography because he got a camera for Christmas. Like, there's all kinds of shit you can do.
Yeah, there's definitely ways.
But so just kind of come up with those practices and stick to them. So then when someone contacts you, you're not like, well, how would you like to do this?
Yeah, never leave it up to them.
You're like,
just
hey,
like when they ask, when they're asking, or they want song suggestions or whatever, just tell them what they want. Yeah. And if they don't want that, they'll tell you. But like, make it easy on you and them. Like, don't give them the opportunity to go look up
some random
crazy ass tune on the internet. Like, oh, let's do
or one of the ones
Tenacious
I had
D on the bagpipes. Like,
one of the ones I had where they were like, oh, can we get the Boondock Saints theme on bagpipes? I'm like, that's played on a fucking violin, man.
I don't even know what it is. Cheesy Irish sort of
fucking horrible
thing. Yeah.
And I was like, I'll try. Like, shit. Don't do that. Just come up with a repertoire of tunes, because that's always great too. If you have a repertoire, you can record shit on your phone of you playing, and be like, hey, like I have some samples of stuff that I think would be appropriate. Can I send them to you?
Yeah, exactly.
I do that all the time, where someone will be like, well, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, here's a couple tunes I think would be appropriate. I'm like, well, I'm not familiar with those. I was like, I'll record them tonight when I get home. I'll put it on get my phone.
And then as
voice
you
recorder
do that, build yourself a library and put it on your website, or at least you'll always have it to share with people.
Yeah, if you have a library of stuff where you can just, boom, here's a sample of what I'm talking about. And I think this would be good.
Yeah,
steer that. You don't have to like push them, but you could put a hand on the wheel.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And that'll make your life significantly easier.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't have to learn a tune for every fucking gig.
Yep. But even that way, you build up your repertoire as well. So, good thing. Cobra in chat mentions this, and this is true. Get yourself a PayPal account for one. The reason for that versus Venmo, and they both work fine, is, and Venmo may do this, I don't know, but PayPal has a credit card swiper that you can get for free.
Yep. So if you have an account, I'll mail it to you.
Plugs into your phone, and it slides a card, and I've been paid via credit card. People ask every once in a while, hey, will you take a card? Like a corporate gig, very often they want it done through a card. Granted, charge you 3% or whatever, but it's an option. Maybe you don't want to do everything that way, but it gives you another option. And PayPal allows you to invoice people for free. It does all that stuff. Like, you don't if you could play it real cheap with PayPal if you're careful.
Yeah. So
meaning they'll charge you to swipe a card essentially. But even you don't even need the swiper. You could just type it in, but they prefer the swiper. But and Stripe does this as well, but I've never used Stripe or whatever. Yeah. But PayPal works. So that's a good tip as well.
And I don't know if you can. I know you can do it in some, like, I think you can do it in Square and some other things. I don't know if you can do it.
That's what I meant, Square.
I don't know if you can. Stripe's one that works through Squarespace.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you can do it in PayPal, but some of those platforms allow you to pass that fee on to the customer. So if it's like if you're swiping a card and it's like a 3% fee or whatever, it'll be like, hey, now your $250 bagpipe gig is like $255.
Right. I'm not sure if PayPal does that or not, but yeah.
But also, just eat the $7 and do good customer service. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's
not that big a deal. So it's just cost of doing business, and you write that off on your taxes. People, assuming you report any of this stuff. But so anyway, yeah, that's our tips.
Don't cover your ass, man. Always assume the best, hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah, correct.
Just like anything else. And just as soon as you can lock down what your process is going to be for booking gigs. You've taken the customer from point A, they contacted you, and next step is we do this, the next step is this, and then the next step is this, and you just walk them through it, like, here's how this works, and then they're going to say either okay or not. I mean, 9 times out of 10 they're going to have no fucking idea what they're talking about. They've never booked a bagpiper before. They've probably never booked a musician before.
Right, exactly.
So they're just going to say, oh, okay, that's how it works. And if you can just immediately lay out a process instead of hemming and hawing, you're going to save your ass a lot of trouble, because they're going to be like, oh, this person's pro, they know what they're doing. And then, make sure you show up on time or early and play good.
Right. That's really important too.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're
for
fucked.
Repeat business. Yep.
Yeah, for repeat business.
So cool. Let's leave it there because I've got to go.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning into this episode of the Chanter Rant Podcast. We will see you next week for the podcast and the symposium.
Yeah, we'll do them all in a row.
I don't want to call it a symposium. It'll be too confusing.
Oh,
the Joe Brady presentation on marketing your pipe band. Send us your emails and voicemails, chanterrant@gmail.com. Let us know what you thought of the show. And I am going to go ahead and play us out.